Yes, we always as humans going to pick what we want to pick from whatever is said. It's very not every, and also remember that it is said that men of high value take or will accept certain level of women. They will want certain level of women. They will want women that have certain kind of quality. Education is not necessarily one of the options that they want. But those women get mad because you said education is not part of it. Her fitness is also part of what he wants. They get mad because he wants a girl that is not big, right? So those are they know what they're doing, but the thing is that they're trying to see what they can get away with by
Okay,
getting a man that they cannot attain.
but Ekene, that's not a real thing either. Because I happen to know a woman will definitely date a man and he don't have to have six figures. I absolutely know it every day, all day. A
Just
good
like
man does not have to have six figures. This is another message that Ricky began with by saying we're talking to people or we're listening to people who are not married and we're letting them dictate what it is that is a requirement of marriage. Hello, prototype. How are you? And I'm giving you just a second. That's another one of those things because it's not even, I hate to say this, y'all, but when
that.
back in my day, when I was dating, uh, I know y'all gonna say, yeah, you had your type, but I really didn't have a type. I just needed to be attracted to him. Does that make sense? It didn't have to be a six foot guy. It didn't have to be a guy with a six pack. He didn't have to be a rich man. Actually, a rich man was like, what? We was 20 something years old. What was rich? What was that about? No, 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 no. It was those things were never required. And guess what? The reality of it is now they're not required now either. But it is something that's going on to keep y'all single. Not you as because I know you're married, but to keep people single. This is a standard. This is what we're putting in front of to say, okay, this got to be this way and this way, this, or it's not going to happen. That is not a real thing. That is
It's
not a real
never a
thing.
real
It
thing.
is
It's
not
never
a
a real
real
thing.
thing.
It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy that most of us know that it's a fantasy. But the thing is this: some people love Hollywood. Some people love to watch movie, and they believe that they're going to be watching movie the rest of their lives. You see the
Okay.
problem?
Watching
So
movies.
they're never going to get out of that movie. So they know that they will never attain this. You cannot get better than your baby daddy, right? Meaning that if your baby daddy
Says
wasn't a six
who?
figure, how
Says
you
who?
Wait a minute. Now
That
listen. Come on, my sister Diana. She done gave me the fire. Listen, y'all. Listen.
says
Says who?
who?
Go ahead and
Says
answer
who?
that question. Who says who? We got 1% of our
says
men that are
nature,
over
says
$100,000.
nature,
No.
Says
says
what?
nature.
Where do you find that in nature?
Okay, this is how what nature. This is where nature puts it in. Forget the fact that we are going against nature today, and some of us, very intestinal of us, get through it. But most of us will never go through it. You know why? Because nature tells you this: if you, as a person, has a child by somebody else, for you to attain a higher level is very difficult. If you look at before all this 19 20th century thing that came to be, right? Most women, when they have a child, they might never be able to get married at all. You see what I'm saying? They
I don't
remain
agree with that. Listen,
You
Ekane, I
don't
don't
agree
agree.
with
I,
it, but
I don't agree.
it was
Let me tell
life,
you
it
what.
was fact.
Let me tell you something. I hear what you're saying, and I do know that that may be the outcome for some. But even if a man is looking for a wife, and I know some of y'all gonna be like, "Oh no, a man is looking for a wife." She could be a single woman with no children, or she can be a single woman with a child. You better still be checking that woman. The fact that she
Of course,
has a child should not take her out of being a wife. You can still come up with a dud single woman that is no will do you no good as your wife. She's not even a wife. She may meet all those standards that you've put out there, all those preferences that you put out there, and still be a dud. That's how you know it's not a real thing. I understand. Listen, I totally understand putting parameters out there so you can make the best decision. I agree with that totally. But if you still can actually run into someone that is a dud that has no children, fit, feminine, beautiful, submissive, play, all of that, and she'd be a terrible wife. That's what we're saying. This is where the organic thing comes in. This is where being real comes in. It's not going to all fit inside. You can't check all the boxes when it comes to picking your wife. You'll fall off a cliff. You can't do it. If you do it, it is not genuine. It's not going to be a real thing, because as soon as anything falls apart, or as soon as something else is displayed that you didn't check, or something you checked, you thought you had, then it turns out to be not what you had. Now you're trying to get rid of her. So guess what happened then? Your marriage was not a covenant marriage. It was actually a business agreement. So now what do you have? But Ekene, think about what I just said. I'm going to go over here to Prototype, but I want you to give me an answer to that question, Ekene, if you have one. Are there better alternatives to the nuclear family? But just hold on 1 second.
I'll give you that.
Prototype, what you think about that?
Are there better alternatives to the nuclear family?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not, man. That is the single solution to our community. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way around it. Nuclear family is the way, the only way. We can't get anything like economics. None of this can be fixed until we get that fixed first.
Correct.
So most of the time we're just talking to nobody. You know what I mean? Because it's all pointless. I think the problem comes into now that the women are so removed, they're not so interested in the nuclear family, because now it's like I got money, I don't need no man, or I could date the man I want instead of the man I need. You know what I mean? I think it's the man has to take full accountability for bringing back the nuclear family. It's not going to be on the women. Like, the women are going to choose their best options at whatever that might be. So men have to be the best option.
So are you saying that women are driving this this dating scene that we're experiencing right now? You think women? Okay.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay,
I don't even know how to answer that one. No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay, so why would you say so? If the men are driving these cars, which they are, which I think they are, what do they need to do in order to get back in the line with, reaching the goal of the nuclear family?
I think first we need to recognize that it's our problem to solve. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of men don't understand that fixing the community is our problem to solve. Like, a lot of us come from single parent homes, and we're happy with the 50-50. We're happy with the just all kind of things, being submissive, not leading the way we should, or blaming women for any of our problems, or that was her, or she did it, or I hear plenty of men say that sometimes, and it's like ridiculous. So I mean, the community, though, fixing the community, that's our problem. And the nuclear family is also the man's problem.
Go ahead, Ronan.
To the Prototype's point, we have to remember we're the gatekeepers of relationships.
Say that once more.
We're the gatekeepers of relationships, and we have to take the bar off the ground. We allowed anything just to get access to easy sex at a great cost. So once we move the bar, or set the standard back up again, and qualify certain people, things will shift. That's what I said. Like, the community, you have to set the standard as a leader and a head, and not just accepting mediocrity. That's my personal opinion.
So let me say this, Fat Boy for Life. Let me just say this, because I want you to actually hear what I'm saying. He says, date single mothers. He says, and marry them. Okay, so listen, this is what I'm saying. I need for you to get the best woman that could be the best wife you can absolutely find. The best woman for you, and whatever that looks like. Make sure that relationship is authentic. Make sure she loves and respects you and is willing to submit to you, whatever that looks like. Now, if that looks like a woman who has a child, and you can definitely check out the circumstances and see how that child came here, or whatever the situation is, and you make that decision. I'm not telling you to go after a woman who has a child, a single mother. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm saying, even in dating any woman, single with a single mother, whatever the situation is, you have to choose that woman wisely. And if you just totally take women who have children out of the picture, you may be missing a wife. Now I am saying that, but I'm not telling you to go get you a single mother. I'm not telling you to do that. But you know, you could see it. I just want to make sure you understand what I'm saying, because I don't want you to take what I'm saying and totally put it in a different direction. Because guess what? I myself was a single mom for a time. Now look, I'm not doing no white flag for single mothers. There could be some issues there. I need for y'all to look out for them. But there could be a woman that has a child or had a child, and the situation is whatever it was, and she is an excellent wife and could be that for you, and absolutely knows the order in which a marriage is built upon, meaning God, Jesus, husband, woman, and children. And if she understands that, she is and can be a wife. But if you get a single woman and all she is fit, feminine, and friendly, and she play submissive until she gets you, and then you ain't gonna ever be able to satisfy her because she was all of that, then what do you have? Now you have an arrangement or a business agreement, because she never knew anything about being married or being a wife in the beginning. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Oh, he says, I don't mind single mothers. What I'm saying, if we are to fix community, we have to father in those homes. I understand. You do. We have to do whatever it is, what's best for us. Look, I want y'all to have your best. I really, really do. So I'm not telling you to go out here and just find a woman with a bunch of kids. I actually don't even tell women who have more than one child to even date until a particular time. Y'all have heard me say this before. A woman that has 2 kids or more, I think that she shouldn't date unless those kids are a certain age. If they're anywhere between 7, 8, 9, 10, I say don't do it. Wait till those kids get a certain age before you actually bring someone into their lives. You should definitely be promoting the relationship with their fathers, not necessarily with you as a woman, but with them. They need to know their children. You know, their children, they need to know their dads. Brown eyes, what's going on with you? They need to know their dads. So again, there's an answer for this thing. We just need to put it in motion, and we need to stop always pushing that perfect narrative on individuals, because believe it or not, Ekene, people listen and believe what we say. So if we continue with the message of you want a high value man, and women, like you just said, women with 3 and 4 kids talk about they need a man make $250,000 or what have you, and they actually looking for that man. Come on. That's a terrible message, because it's not going to happen. We already know that. They know that too. So why wouldn't we? What is that? Why are we even saying those things though? Why is that even a goal? Oh, I guess it could be some sort. No, that is not a goal. That is unreal.
I think that they say that to price themselves out, because they know they can't either be what they need to be, or they don't want to be what they need to be. You know what I mean? So for them to be something they don't want to be, then it's going to have to be some type of wild number of perfection of a man that he's going to have to be for her to be submissive, because she knows she's not. Or she
so you're saying for her and her 3 kids, you need to make some random man that just coming into this situation needs to make $250,000 to take care of us.
Well, she need a reason why she's single too, right? You know what I mean? So that's her outpricing herself. You know, instead of taking the blame and looking at herself and being like, I'm single because of XYZ, it's I haven't found a man that makes $1 million a year. You know what I mean? So
right, but you got at least one father. There's one person that delivered some babies, right? Produced some babies. At least one. We don't know the situation, but it's got to be one man that you could have married. At least one.
I think she could have married all of them.
I mean, that's okay, but we creating a story now that she had 3 different baby daddies. I don't know that. I'm not gonna give her all that. I'm just saying that there's opportunities there for women to actually be married to good men. But it seems like they're not even giving them an opportunity, because someone has told them.
There is something that I said today to some group of panels. I said to them this. I said this. If a woman has a child or has 6 kids by one man, she did it out of love or out of the premise that he was going to marry her. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She did it because there was something dangling on her face. So there was an act that were going on, and she thought she was going to end up with this man. But if she has two baby daddies or more, no, she did it for the money.
The
She
money.
did it yep, she did it either because she's lazy or because of the or mostly because of the child support that was coming in through having those kids. You see what I'm saying? Because this is the law. This is the law, right? If you have two or more kids by somebody, by the same person, the child support is usually small. But if you have two or more kids by two men or more, right? The child support is usually bigger because each of them can pay anything from $350 or up. So just imagine 350 times how many kids you have by different daddies, right? It's more money coming in. So that is why you see a lot of them will have multiple kids by multiple daddies because they are getting a lot of money a month. So it's more of economic calculation than love calculation.
I think
So
I don't think it's love, but I definitely don't think it's. Oh, I
no,
can
if it's
get
two
more
kids
money.
or more, it has nothing to do with love.
I don't
If
think it's
kids or
that
more,
either, though.
two
Like,
baby daddies or more. it
and
has
for the
nothing to
ones
do
that
with love.
are doing that, that's a very small percentage of women.
So let me
that are
ask you a
making that
question. So
decision.
wait a minute. I'm sorry, Prototype. I gotta ask a question because I'm just not understanding. Because Ekene just said that he thinks that. Listen, there was a TikTok video where a woman did say have several babies by several different men, and you could make up to $75,000 a year off of child support. But that would be determined off of how much money these men were actually making. So we need to be honest about this. So if average income for a male is what, $950 a week, or like $3,500 a month, something like that, $40,000 to $50,000 a year, how much would he have to pay for child support? What is the percentage? Does anybody know? Is it
20 to 40, about 20 to 40%. Between
20
20
to
and
40% of his
40%
weekly
of his
income?
weekly. Yeah. It's a lot of money for those women.
Hold on. So if it's $900, let's say
20 to
times,
40%.
okay, I'm gonna say 30%.
Okay.
So so it's $270. That would be a month, or is that a week?
No, you're talking about his total paycheck.
So it's $270 a week. I have never, listen, I'm gonna let you know right now. I pay child support for a lot of people. I have paid child support for a lot of people. Right to current time, I'm so happy because I'm not paying child support for anybody, but I've paid child support for a lot of people. And none of the people that have worked for our company that have made up to $40,000 a year, none of them have paid $1,080 a month for child support. I have never sent off a check for $1,080. I haven't. So that is not, and that was based on 30%. That is not happening. That is not happening. Their child support, listen, normally, wait a minute. Normally their obligations look about like $250 a month. That is normally around in there. It's no 238, 250, 274. That all depends if there's arrearages or what have you. Those are the checks that I actually send out per month. That is how it actually looks. I never have paid in child support. And like I said, this is a real thing. $1,080. Let me tell you one other thing. I've also paid out as little as $4 a month in child support. $4. So I don't know if these women are having children. Lord, I pray that they're not having children to get child support. But that lady on that video, she had to have 6 kids in order to pull off that $75,000. She was basing it on some whatever, and that may not be true. So here again, we're talking about information that may not be real, that she's put out there to some woman, some young impressionable girl who maybe is at 3 and is struggling with the 3, that would be willing to have 3 more just because this woman has put out that you get 3 more, you might get 75,000 and you'll be set for the year or to come. See, again, that's another message that some young woman may follow just because another older woman told her that this is something she can do. So Ekene, I'm not sure if women are living off of child support, because even at $1,080, let's just say a young man is paying $1,080 a month for child support. That is a high amount to pay, and he has to live also. But what exactly is she doing with $1,080? What exactly is that accomplishing? That's not doing a whole lot, because he probably can't live off the remainder. So how long is he going to be able to be under these circumstances? It's It's not a good, it's a rotten system. It doesn't work for either party. It's better to get with the woman and try to go half and half on the child. What I mean by that is I'm gonna take care of the child half the time, you take care of the child half the time, and we don't need child support because I'm supporting them half the time and you support them half the time. That's what needs to happen. This is not a good system to direct somebody into and thinking that somebody's going to win, because as soon as your child becomes an invoice, it begins to be very hard to see that child as your child. Very hard.
That's true. That's true, because if you look at it this way, right, that's why we try to discourage people from doing that as an economic basis. Because if you raise a child based on economy or to siphon somebody or take from somebody, guess what you end up doing? You cause resentment.
Yep.
On both sides.
Okay, I don't know who that is. Did something that just fall? Y'all mute yourselves out if somebody's falling behind you.
Yeah, no, it's in my house. So,
okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that if you, that's why you see a lot of things have gone bad.
Right.
Because there's too much resentment from everyone, except the mother that is getting the money. There are people also that have said that they go broke after paying child support. That is a fact, meaning a lot of money is being taken out of those men. A lot of money is being taken out of those men. That is why these men go broke. Somebody's not going to go broke if they're not paying 40% or more or 20% or more of their pay before tax. You see what I'm saying? So
no,
it's not good.
I agree with you. I agree. And I think Mr. Milner, hello, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. He just made a comment a minute ago that he had someone that he knew that was paying over 80% of their income to child support. That's a ridiculous system. How can you pay over 80% and then live on your own as a man, or maybe have another wife or what have you? This is crazy. I'm not agreeing with this system in any way. I definitely think
got
that
4 kids by 4 different moms.
Oh, wow.
I don't agree with the system anyway.
I don't either.
I don't, but it is what it is.
Yes, it is.
But you know how you can avoid those pitfalls?
I absolutely do.
You know how you can, to stop using this as an argument for something that might hurt you? Choose a wife.
Absolutely.
See, it's the answer to everything. It's the answer to everything. Like at the end of the day, I'm sick of y'all. Because at the end of the day, this what black people do. Like I said before, y'all don't look how you get cut. What y'all look at is what happened. Oh, it's swollen up. It's pussy. It's all infected. When you just didn't have to cut yourself. Right? The reason why child support exists, as messed up as it is, as bogus as it can be, as wrong as you feel it may be, is because men were not being responsible with their families. At the end of the day, is it perverted? Is it being used incorrectly? Is it used as a vice? Yes. But the reason it exists is because men didn't take care of their families. And I'm sick of y'all, because at the end of the day, nobody want to just say, you know what, player, I fucked up. I chose the wrong chick. I got down on the knee. Everybody, all the men say, no woman better not propose to me. No, I ain't marrying no woman. You proposed. You proposed.
You absolutely did.
And let me tell y'all the real truth, right? A woman has no say so when a relationship starts. But when she say it's over, it's over. Let me say that again for y'all in the back. A woman has no say when a relationship starts. But when she say it's over, it's over. So why ain't you taking the time to choose wisely? I'll tell you why. Because she cute.
Oh my goodness.
Because she got that fat booty. She got that squish squash, that juicy juicy.
Thing you like.
Because he desperate.
Right? What y'all don't understand is that Men, when it comes to the relationship phase, like shout out to my boy Prototype. When he on, right? When it comes to the relationship phase, that is men's wheelhouse. Y'all can't escape it. You can't put it off on them. It's you, because until you walk up to a girl and say, "Hey, Miss Lady, how you doing? What's popping with you, shorty?" Nothing happens. Women ain't approaching you. If y'all want to use social media as the litmus, go to It's Complicated or any other. What girls say? How you talk to a man? I look at him. It's up to him to walk over. We're all responsible for what we're responsible for. Stop putting your responsibilities off on the next person. When it comes to that relationship, guys, you're responsible for it. I say it all the time. Be a leader, because at the end of the day, you're going to get blamed for it anyway. You're going to get the blame for it anyway. Oh, that's not right. It's not. Sorry. It's the way it is. The same way, at the end of the day, I tell y'all, if a woman open up her legs to a man that is not a husband, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. It's been that way since the beginning of time. But y'all, I ain't gonna say y'all, I say y'all in general, right? But people, right? I need to start working on my language. People continue to let other people dictate what your relationship is supposed to look like, what your interaction with another human being is supposed to be. I don't do that. I say find the right person, find a good person, and y'all work it out between yourselves. Work it out between y'all, right? But we all here to do what we all here to do. As men, we're responsible for the relationship. We're responsible for covering. We're responsible for security. You know, all the things y'all say.
Well, Ricky, they don't say that. Now, keep in mind, it's only if you complain. They make the woman responsible for having sex and actually having the baby. And that's a terrible message, because they make men think that once the babies get here, they can actually walk away because they didn't have a say in it. Now, I don't know what it's going to take for men to understand that you don't get to walk away. You must protect yourself. And I think Nurse Fancy said it, and Anissa also said it. You got to protect men. You have to protect yourself if you don't want any children. If you think a woman is going to get pregnant and not come after you, then you're totally have lost your mind. And we have enough examples to see this. But yes, the woman should preserve herself. I tell women all the time, don't have sex with these men unless you're ready to be married. And also if they're not ready to put a ring on your finger. This is what I say all the time. But again, there's a message out there that, hey, look, we didn't have any say to her having sex with us. So once the baby gets here, it's hers. We've heard a man come on here and say this, had 7 kids. He was like, them my babies, but I didn't want them babies. So again, men, y'all got to protect yourselves, because women are going to want child support if there's a baby that comes out of you all having sex.
That gentleman was unique. I mean, well, I'm not going to say he's unique. He was unique in the sense that there are guys like him, but he wasn't necessarily the majority. Matter of fact, so I wanted to speak to something that either Mr. Williams said or Prototype said. I actually had something to add to the black pathology argument. But
yeah, go ahead, Kevin. Hello, and then go ahead.
Yeah, hello, SB. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
No, go ahead. I just wanted salutations.
To you know, my no disrespect.
No.
But how many? Just a real quick question. When we speak of men, when we're talking about black men abandoning their children, because that's an argument that everybody makes, by the way, not just black people, but everybody. I hear that from non-blacks quite a bit. What is the percentage of you guys? What is the percentage of men who you guys think are doing that? What's the percentage?
I actually want to see where. I mean, we all know that black men are like the best fathers on the planet, like hands down. You know what I mean? So I'm curious to see where you're really going with this argument.
Well, because when people have this conversation, it sounds like this is like some huge problem among black men, and it really isn't. When you look at the numbers, I don't even try to have this argument with women because they just ignore the data anyway. It doesn't matter with women. But we got SB up here, and then we got a bunch of men up here. So, we already know that we have a situation where it's unfortunate, but we got a lot of black men who are not married. We got like over 50% of black men who are not married, they're never married, and they don't have any kids. So these guys are not even part of the problem. And then we got another 33% of black men who are married, presumably producing kids with their wives, taking care of their kids and their families. That's almost that puts you what, almost 90% of black men who are not even part of the problem. And when we have this discussion, I don't expect people who are not black to get it, because they don't have the mental span to actually even think that far. But I expect when we have these conversations that needs to be a focus of it, and a major talking point, because what happens is it's like we're putting it on the men, and then when I do all the research, then what the research shows me and what the numbers show me, and then what my own observable data and experience shows me, is that this is not a man's problem.
Okay, so let me ask.
And then we have this conversation, and then it points back to the women, and then it just gets ignored, and it gets thrown back on the men, as if the women are not participating at all.
All problems.
Which brings me to which I'll go ahead and let you guys answer, but then it'll bring me back to the question I have for Mr. Williams, I believe.
So Kevin, can you do me a favor and ask the direct question? The first, what are we saying is the man's problem exactly? What are we saying is his problem?
Well, okay, it just sounds like we're blaming men for a problem that they're not even participants in.
And what is that problem?
The kids all over the place. It was kind of alluded to, or said that the men are abandoning, or what did it make the kids or get out of here, or that's why I said that seven baby guy, the seven baby mama guy, he was an anomaly. Now,
okay, so I wanted to make sure.
But he's a small group of men who are actually doing that versus the majority of black men.
Okay, so let me say this. I don't know how long you've been here, but we got off into child support by accident. I don't even really know how we got there. It was not something that we were actually talking about. So I want to make sure you understand that. The only thing that we have said that men were responsible for, and Prototype has said this, is that the idea that we're gotten away from the nuclear family, the men are responsible for getting it back in order. Now, that's been the only thing I think of that has been said that is the man's responsibility.
Okay,
now,
so I have something for that too.
I think he's speaking to Ricky, saying that it's like child support was put in place because men were being trash. But I don't think it was the black men. I don't think that was made for black men. I think that was made for all men. Like I said, black men particularly, we're the best fathers on the planet. That law was made for them other men who gladly leave their family or have some sad kids or whatever, and have the money to just pay it off. Right? That's made for them. We're getting washed up in it. You know what I mean? Because it's seen as, well, that's what I'm going to do. It's a resource for us. Like, you know what I mean? But that wasn't really made for black men particularly. I think it was just made for those men who are, we all know them other women are the most protected women on the planet. You know what I mean? If it was black women screaming about we need money from our men, they wouldn't have put that law in place like that. You know what I'm saying? Other than just to put us back in jail.
So listen, child support legislation was enacted in 1950. So it wasn't all about us. 1950 is when the child support legislation came into play, and it wasn't just about us. But again, Kevin, it almost seems like the bad ones always the ones that stand out.
Yeah, well, because they get the most attention. But let's get back to the topic.
Okay.
What I actually came up with. Okay, so we've already agreed. Well, at least I heard what you guys already said, and I agree too. There are no alternatives to the nuclear family. It is what it is. You can't get around that. We look at the data. You look at it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a short-term study, long-term study, a survey, a questionnaire. It doesn't matter. The data everywhere says that nuclear family is a foundation for positive life outcomes or better life outcomes for children that are born into this world. All right. So if you go outside of that, then what you're doing is you're setting your kid up for possible negative life outcomes. That's not necessarily a guarantee. Stable two-parent homes, but generally speaking, the data says that those two-parent homes actually produce better life outcomes for children. So I don't when they say Well, I know you have the thing where you have like two same-sex people that are married and then they're raising a kid. Okay, fine. I I don't want to get into that too much, but I'm just saying, even with that, that's still two people, working together. However they do it, I don't know how that works. I'm just saying, two people working together. I just see it as a stable two-parent home, and they're still raising a kid effectively. All right, so I know there's some other stuff at play, but I'll just focus on that. Now, I think it was either Mr. Williams or Prototype said this, is that okay? And I wrote it down because I wanted to kind of make sure I got the statement right. Okay, so let's just say for the sake of argument, it is men's responsibility to fix the community and to lead the way. And we accept that. Let's just go ahead and say that for the sake of argument. You're absolutely right. Now, what is the woman's role in that, in supporting that task or supporting that mission?
That's a great question.
That's the problem. Mm-hmm.
Either fall in line or get left by the wayside.
You know what, Kevin, let me say this, but Hidden Gems, I'm going to come to you in just a second, but I want to say this at this point. This may be missing me totally. And I know that we're in this space and we hear a lot of negative things, but I just don't think it's that hard for a man to find a woman. I think that outside of this space, YouTube is definitely growing, but we're still asking ourselves or telling ourselves, is this real or is this entertainment? On the outside of this, in my regular life, going to work every day, meeting new people, men and women are getting together. They're dating. They're having relationships. They're laughing. They're having fun. They're moving towards marriage. I'm not saying that YouTube doesn't have a place where they're putting this message out there that women are not wives, but there are examples of good women. And what a woman can do is definitely make herself available as a wife for a man if she wants to be married. That we have to work on ourselves either way. But it's up to a man to find us, though. It's up to men to say they want to be married and go find these women. It really is. And if they're, like Ricky said, if they're not meeting the standards, to keep moving, moving. And
so what does the low marriage rate for Black people tell you about the state of marriage? Overall 30% marriage rate.
I'm saying that men don't desire to be married.
Well, see, this is where I would disagree. Mrs. SB, you know I like you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right now, you're wrong.
Okay.
Because,
what you got?
Studies have been done, and I wish I could actually quote usually when I do a study, I give you the year and then the short title, and for right now, it actually escapes me. But I know based on that study that I've read, and I've seen it referenced multiple times, that just a little over 20% of Black women actually want marriage, 40% of Black men, over 40% of Black men want marriage. So we want marriage at twice the rate.
I can agree with that. I should have said that differently.
We actually have more. Not only that, Black men we have more Black men that are married than Black women right now. Considering the fact, and you also have to throw in the fact that there are like 2 million more marriageable women because when we say 20, there's 40 million plus of us, but we got to count the women of marriageable age from 18 to whatever, right? That being said, there's 2 million more women, but we still have almost 1 million more married Black men than Black women right now. So everything points to men want to be married more than the women. I
can almost believe that. Maybe I should have said it different.
That's what it is.
I should have said it.
SB, I support what you said, but go ahead. I support what you said initially, so don't change it.
Okay, no, I'm not going to change it. But what I should have said in this time, in the millennials, they don't want to be married as a group, men and woman, is what I should have said. I should have said it that way. Yeah, that's what I mean. Men and women.
So, let me respond to this.
I don't know
Wait
the
a
core
minute.
group. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
You might have a point there as it relates to who was actually asked that question. But I'm just going to go with right now, even when you look at the numbers, when you look at the data, when you look at the studies, short-term, long-term, longitudinal, questionnaires, whatever, everything points to men want to be married more than women.
Okay, I can accept that. Let's go to Hidden Gems down here. What do you have to say, sir? And how are you?
What's going on, chat? What's going on, SB, Ronan, Ricky? What's going on, my guy? Lady Di, everybody else. Let me say this, all right? I know the question originally was like, who's responsible for it? I got to say this, it's both, all right? Now, men may have to take the first step, but the women are just as obligated to fix this problem as well, all right? I think a big part of our problem is that parents, adults, elders are not teaching the millennials like we were taught, all right? We got parents leaving it up to a tablet, a screen to teach these kids about being a wife, being in a relationship, being a family. And what happens is, I mean, just look at the algorithm. What pops up on YouTube more than anything? You got polarized groups. You got Black women. The most viewed ones are the ones where they're telling them, don't trust no man, take him for what he got, and this and that. And then you got the manosphere, Fresh and Fit, and all this other one talking about don't trust women, treat them like this. This is what you want. And both sides are basically teaching them the worst things about getting together or trying to become a family or find a wife and whatnot. And these are the things that are teaching these millennials. I teach, I mentor, I talk to these kids. They're not watching Family Matters. They're not watching, you know, all them shows that we grew up on that talked about Black families and Black love and how to date, how to, you know, go out there and vet women or men. They're not teaching that anymore. What they're getting taught on is this stuff that we speak against every day on YouTube. It's the most available one, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, or whatever. And I think that our biggest problem is that although we are good fathers, we are some of the best fathers out there. The problem is, what are we teaching? All right. And I think part of it you can learn from Kevin Samuels when he did that video. I don't know how many young men and how many guys my age really didn't know how to clean their tail. You know what I'm saying? Don't think about how to present themselves for women. You know what I'm saying? Don't think about what they need to bring to a relationship on their behalf before they can require something of a woman. And at the other end, you got a lot of women that aren't being taught by their moms how to be women, let alone how to be wives, how to be feminine, what it means to be a mother or a wife in a family. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, with all this disconnect as far as being able to get together, we're not teaching our children. We're not teaching the youth. We're not teaching anybody as a whole. Now, I'm not saying people on the panel and others aren't teaching their children, but here's the thing. If we got 10 people teaching, but we've got 100 not, well, who are they going to link up with?
Who are they going to link up with? Who's supposed to be doing all the teaching, sir? Who's supposed to be doing all the teaching?
The adults. The adult.
Okay,
look, here's last time I checked, if you're a kid, you have a mother and a father, and you were either raised by one of them, correct? Now, here's the other problem. Say, for instance, we got a single family home, right? You got a single parent. Say it's your mom, all right? Well, daddy's not around. She should be doing something. The community, and this is also the problem. We don't have a community either, all right? A lot of times when you see single women, hey, what are they doing? A lot of times moms and gave up on them. They're doing their own thing, or they gave up on their parents. They're trying to do things on their own. They don't have anybody to lean to, man or female, all right? And then the ones that they do lean to, are they really trying to help them become a wife? Are they trying to push them to get married? Or are the ones that are reaching out to them the ones telling them to stay single? Work on you, boo. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Become a boss and all this other stuff. Then you got men not taking care of their kids. I'm just saying, there's some, not all, not a large amount, but you got some that aren't taking care of their kids, all right? All right, say even if we wipe them to the side, if we're trying to build a community of families, then others, I can't dictate how much time you spend or how much effort you give, but shouldn't they be coming in trying to help them become more marriageable? Or if they can't help the moms, shouldn't they be trying to guide the kids? If they're not getting what they need, shouldn't they be trying to guide them as well? But we don't have that a lot. And I can't tell you how to do it, but I'm telling you, it's got to be a unified effort. In YouTube, every day I look at this stuff and I see women ain't doing this. I hear people talking about these stats, all right, that they can't give quotes for. And I'm not attacking you, Kev. I'm just saying, all right, there's a lot of people that throw stats and then they can't tell you where. Every time I look up, these stats change. It's 20% today, 40 the next time, 30 the next, 60 the next. And I'm not saying that they're fake, but also, hell, I did polls. I know how polls are run. They go to specific areas in a lot of cases. It's no different from the political ones. They choose where they want to do the polls, all right? You have a choice of where you want to ask people and where you want to find out if whatever research you're trying to figure out is apparent. You know what I'm saying? You'll get a different reading in North Carolina than you will in Texas. point blank period. You'll get a different reading from Dallas than you would from Houston. So all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, a lot of this is just sounds like we're trying to point the finger in a lot of cases, whether it's heavier on the women or heavier on the men. But the truth of the matter is we all got to come together, and I can't put together an exact plan, but I know it's going to take all of us, because if the men pick up the slack, the women will get lazy, and then we'll have more women out here needing to be cared for. All right. But vice versa as well. Yeah.
So Hidden Gems, tell me something. What is well, thank you for being here. And I want you to shout out your channel when you get a moment. But what is the age group that you usually speak to on you have a podcast, correct?
I have one, but really and truly, we just finished school. So I haven't, school year just ended. That's why I'm just now getting on here trying to talk. I have a podcast, but I haven't really been doing much. It's been hectic. I just decided to stop teaching because I was working with high schoolers. I mentor college students and young adults, those out of college.
Okay, so your age group is somewhere between what, 15 and 20?
I'd say about 15 to about 30.
Okay, so listen, you haven't been here the whole time, but the way the show actually started, it was Ricky and I and Ronan. We talked about how in these spaces, people are listening to people that don't have the right information to give them, and they're taking their talking points, and it's making them, they're taking it as their reality, and they're making the situation of being married much more difficult than it really is or really should be, instead of giving the right information. For example, now marriage is a business instead of a covenant. Now, Rick, you help me out some more examples that we had from the beginning that the message was being given incorrectly.
Oh, it's like I was saying, that the messages that a lot of people give is they teaching you how to be single, not how to be in a relationship. Right. Negative reinforcement and things of that nature that make you fearful of something you've never experienced.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how this actually started. We went a couple of different directions, and I'm saying that because a lot of what you're saying was talked about earlier, and we are in agreement with you. A lot of what you said. I just think, far as I go, I'm speaking a little bit more to the millennials, the little 30, 27, or someone said 27 and up. I would say 30 and up, because we as Gen Xers, we actually created an entitlement group. They're very entitled and they're very selfish. So them wanting to be married and sharing their lives with others is a very difficult thing. And that's kind of where we are with it. And we're trying to figure out, so what's the alternative, guys? If you're not going to be married, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? So that's kind of like where we are. But listen, we appreciate you because you're actually going back a whole generation, and this is actually what's best. And you're talking to the ones that are younger, and maybe you can definitely make a difference. But when you come to YouTube, because you mentioned this, are those young people coming to YouTube for entertainment, or are they coming to get real information? Because that's where we got to figure out how to help.
Well, here's the thing. They come to YouTube for entertainment, but here's the problem. Do they really understand the difference between entertainment and reality? Because one thing that I know about this group too, from what I've heard and what I've listened to, is that if you say it enough, it becomes reality to them. All right. Not to mention, I've talked to Ricky about this before, and let's be honest, a lot of the trauma in our community, I won't say a lot, I don't know what percentage or whatever, I'm not going to throw numbers out there, but let's just be honest. A lot of people talk on things that they've never experienced and they don't know about. You hear people all the time talking about, well, I'm not about to let a man cheat on me, and then you find out they've never been done wrong. You got people talking about men beating people over here, but they've never experienced nobody that they know. They've heard from somebody else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they're using it like it's gospel, like it's happened to them. I hate to say this because you shouldn't need qualifications to speak, but the biggest thing is that when you give an opinion, just call it an opinion.
All due respect, Hidden Gems.
I'm sorry. You saying that you don't need experience to have an opinion?
No. I'm saying you don't need quality. You know how people are like, okay, say for instance, you got people that are sitting up here that have never, experienced a relationship. I don't know if y'all follow, you've got some people getting exposed as gurus, dating gurus, and
Rifters.
you find out these amongst other people, you know what I'm saying? And you find out these.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Shortage.
And
I
then,
don't know. Oh, there we go.
All right, there you go.
oh, okay, we good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
All
ahead.
right, but I mean, the truth of the matter, you got people pushing their
Negative narratives.
yes to guide a group of people that are really and truly looking for an answer. And that's the thing. And I think a lot of it would be helped if you just said, well, this is my opinion based on my experience. But a lot of people are coming out with the negative saying that this is reality. And it's not even their reality. You got people pushing this red pill stuff and they don't even believe in it.
Mm.
Are you saying
Yeah.
people can't tell the difference?
Oh, because there's
Let's be honest. Yes, most of the kids cannot tell the difference. They don't know.
Okay, I could give you that for younger folks. But okay,
Yeah.
so Mr. Jim, everything you said actually was pretty much spot on. And you're right, you do have to look at the methodology of these studies. But the other thing too is everything that you talked about literally circles back around to stable two-parent families, like literally. You know, because I look at it like this: all that bad information that young folks are getting. You know, all my kids are adults now, but I was able to interdict a lot of the nonsense and say, look, this is what it really is. This is what you need to be doing. I don't know how you get around anything other than stable two-parent families. I don't know how you get around anything other than that. So everything that you just mentioned, all the bad stuff, some of the good stuff, but everything that was negative in your statement. I'm not saying you were being negative. You were just kind of highlighting the issues. My whole thing is that it all circles back around to two-parent homes. If we're not doing that, then nothing else is going to work. And I think somebody else already alluded to that.
All
But I
right,
agree.
Lady Di, it's your time. And welcome to the panel. Thank you so much for coming up. And go ahead and tell us what you think about all this.
I'm just listening. And, you know, I agree with Kevin right now about the last statement he made. We definitely have to bring families back together. You know, there are people who broke up and, you know, they're single parents. And some of them, they didn't need to be broken up. They could have stuck together. Right. So something that's not as toxic. So you have people who just, oh, they didn't do this right. They didn't do that right. You didn't meet my expectations. But that don't mean that you can fix it and glue it back together. You can, you know, when you have kids with someone, that's a lifetime agreement that you have with someone. It's not until you're 18 where, oh, I have nothing to do with you anymore. No, that's for the rest of your life, because the child is going to have you know, graduations, they're going to go to college, you know, you're going to have to support them most of their adulthood up until at least 30s for some of them. You know, you have to do it together. You can't just leave these kids by themselves and be, oh, when you're 18, I don't have to deal with you or your mother or you and your father no more. No, it's a lifetime thing you have to do. Therefore, you need to stick together with the person you having kids with. Now, I'm not speaking for the worst case scenarios, because the worst case scenarios, sometimes you got to let it go, right? Before a snap situation happened. But there's some situations, like in my family, my parents, they could have still been together today, 32 years, but they not, over something stupid. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, why are we living like this? You got kids out here suffering. You don't just suffer as a child, you suffer as an adult by not having your parents around. You know, you're going to go through things in life that who are you going to ask? You can't even ask your parents, because your parents don't even know how to keep it together over something silly. You know, let's talk about that. We could talk about toxic stuff all day, which I'm pretty sure we'll talk about more in this live, but let's talk about the people who don't have toxicity, the people who, you know, they're petty with their drama, the ones who having these arguments. But why are you even talking about that? Some things you could have just let go. You didn't have to say that. Some things you don't have to argue about all the time. Sometimes we have to learn how to be quiet. Sometimes we have to learn how to listen. Let's talk about communication. It's like the simple things that people can't stay together for, but then they're gonna, you know, leave their relationship, leave their marriage and say, well, I'll do better by myself. No, you and your kids ain't doing better by yourself. Look around you. Look at everybody else around you. We're not doing good. We're hurting out here. Kids out here suffering. There's more crime that I've seen. I don't know how it was back in the day, but the crime that I'm seeing today with these middle school kids is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Why is there so much crime today? The worst I've ever seen. I don't know. Y'all could probably speak more on it for how it was back then, but this is ridiculous. And a lot of these kids are coming from single parent homes. no parents at all, being raised by their grandparents, or coming from the foster care system, because y'all guys can't keep y'all damn mouth closed and keep your relationship together, all because you pissed off all the time. Sorry.
All right. So listen, guys.
All right.
Dearly beloved.
Listen, we're gonna read some super chats, but listen, let's think about what Lady Di just said. It's time to fix the problem, because I'm going back to what Ricky said initially. It's too much of the wrong message that's being out here in these spaces. We got several people here. I think all are married. If I'm hitting gems, I'm not acquainted with you as of yet, but are you married?
No, I am not. I'm dating, but not married. Not married.
I know Ronan isn't. So we got two single men
away.
here. Ladies, we got two single men. So anyway, we got married folks here, and we are married and are talking about marriage, want to be married, or in successful marriages. I hope. I know that most of us are. I don't know much about Ekene, but I'm assuming he's in a successful marriage also. So we got enough people here in this building that we should make this the new message. And we should get away from all of that that keeps us apart. I'm sorry, say it again.
I am in a very successful marriage.
See what I'm saying? So now we need to come against that single, that thing that keeps us single, because we always putting messages out there that keep us single. We don't see them that way. They put them out there as qualifications or preferences, and this is this and this is this. All that is put in place to keep us single. So y'all think about that for just a minute, and I'm gonna read these super chats and we're gonna get back into it. But Sugar Bum says, I like that. I like this, Ricky. Thank you so much, Sugar Bum. She liking something, Ricky. Sugar Bum, you know what? I know you got a man, right? And if you keep this up, I'm gonna be forced to talk to him about this. I'm gonna be forced to do so.
Sugar Bum just don't know I keep it thorough. You know what I'm saying? Like I wreck both sides when y'all bogus. When you wrong, you wrong. It don't matter who you is.
Right. So. You know what, Ricky, though? She playing in the right pond, though. She over here with us. She knows.
She the best of them. That's all I got to say.
She absolutely is. I can't take it. Look, I wouldn't have it any other way. But she goes some other places, Ricky. She give them hell. I can't help it. She do. But anyway, Marcus says no crew season tonight. No, Marcus, this is our crew season. I hope we've been sufficient for you. I know we have, and I love to have you and continue to support us. Thank you, Marcus, again for your $2 super chat. SB, we need to see you on Dear Future Wifey show. I like that. Put in a good word for me. Let's just get something together. I'll go in there and speak for us. Michael Richardson, it's good to see you. Thank you, sir, for your $10 super chat. I don't see any super chats. Hey, SB and Ricky. Here we go. Thank you so much. Marcus again. Oh, snap. We got homie Lady Di in the building. All right, Marcus. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. We got too many grifters in the spaces and they need to be called out. Marcus, again, thank you for your $5 super chat. Talk to him, Lady Di. So listen, what you think about that? The grifters need to be called out. Ricky, that seemed like a job for you.
I'm trying.
I'm just kidding. Bolo, what's up with you? No, we all are trying. Every time we have they already know when we on these panels, we don't let it go. I know sometimes we do get tired of going back and forth, but sometimes you just can't hear some craziness though. When they say something crazy, it automatically makes you respond. And I appreciate y'all for doing that. Both of you, Lady Di and Ricky. Ricky, I've been with you. I should say you were there first. So we got to call them out. We can't just let it go that way because sometimes the message is ridiculous.
They liars. But you try to tell y'all these people lie to y'all face. They lie to y'all face. Then as soon as the show over, they doing exactly what they telling y'all they wouldn't do. They liars. Listen to what I tell y'all.
I have to believe that.
The only thing that matters is results at the end of the day. That's it. How can somebody tell you they tell, oh, this is how you get a good woman. This is how you get a good you want to be married, but you're not married. What?
Well, I'll say this in support of Ricky. It's like the thing is, you got to realize with these grifters, you guys are letting them live off internet welfare just by sending them super chats and unnecessary funds for give you misinformation.
And it's not hey, get your money, dog. Get your money, sis. But you ain't gonna sit up there and just lie to me. Right? You're not gonna lie to me. You can lie to who you're not gonna lie to me, bro. Like you you'll sit up there and rack a female and say that's a modern woman talking point, and then hit you with the same point. He just what?
Shoot. My
They
thing,
do a lot of that. They do a lot of go ahead, Lady Di. I think that was you talking. Go ahead.
my thing is, what I don't like when I'm on some of these panels is the misinformation you putting out. We already got enough of that. People watching this reality TV. We already got enough of the nonsense. So if you're gonna come on these panels, you better come with the facts or don't speak. Be quiet. It's okay. We don't have to hear you talk. We want to hear people that got knowledge and experience of the topic, or something that sounds more positive in a way that's gonna help somebody. And I feel like they just trying to argue instead of, being the one that's helping the community.
And you're paying for word salad with no lettuce.
Yeah. And it's entertainment over substance. It's entertainment over substance. A lot of these people in here, they're not trying to get a good message across. They're trying to get their likes up. They're trying to get subscribers. And the best way to do that is conflict. Speak on the negative things. That if you start presenting solutions, people don't. A lot of the younger ones, the ones that are on here every day, more than TV, they don't want to hear solutions. They want to hear conflict. They want to hear people going at each other. That's why you got people still calling for Kayla and Kay and them to come back. And I'm not knocking them, but I'm just saying that the thing was that they liked people bumping heads. They didn't want to hear solutions. When too many people are agreeing or trying to solve a problem, you see the likes and the views fall off. You see it fall off.
Yeah, Gems, I think my thing is, like, you got to ask yourselves a question. Like, for the people to stand on the streams for 6 to 12 hours, have you ever thought about how they verify their information? Have you ever took some time to sit there and wash their ass while they're sitting there wasting your time? You got to really ask yourself some serious questions, because once you log off, you still got to do your thing in life. You still have those situations that you've been running from. So if they're not helping if they're not providing solutions, then what are you doing?
And the crazy thing is, talking about this real quick, today I had to do something different. I was invited to the live, but I was actually on my own live, and I had to talk about Blueface today, because this is what people want to talk about. I don't know anything about this man, this kid. You understand? And I see him around with his baby mothers and everything. And I know a little bit, but I was like, this is what y'all want to see. So I had to put him on my live. And I'm like, wow, it was so toxic watching it. I'm like, I don't even watch this stuff no more. I used to watch Love and Hip Hop back in the day. I don't really watch that now, because that's not my life right now. My life is full of a whole bunch of positivity. I cannot even stand watching it, but this is what the entertainment is. Oh, I got more views for sure, because you got this Blueface as my thumbnail. Yeah, y'all want to click on that. All right, cool. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell y'all stop being this way. I'm going to tell y'all this behavior is nonsense.
I can't do it. The far as I can go is Miss Danae and Derek.
Yeah.
I can't go no lower. That's it.
So people have been hitting on Derek Jackson since he was starting out in his car. Like, we've been getting on his bumper since day one.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned Fresh and Fit. So look, Fresh and Fit actually started off pretty good initially. It really was to some level positive, but now it's really a joke at this point. They are pure entertainment, and whatever advice they were trying to give, it's not even. I wouldn't give that advice to anybody. One of the things they were saying, well, you got to have 50 women before you get married. I'm like, what?
The candy store, and all that stuff.
Because their idea is that if you have sex with 50 women, then somehow you're going to get the experience you need in order to. I'm like, no, you don't. Look,
at what cost?
The only 50 women I know are in my family.
At what
I don't
cost?
even know 50 women.
The Fresh
It's
thing,
and so it's just it's like the way they were explaining things. They're really not helping young men, which is why that's why I say look, I'm not gonna. They're supposed to be trying to help young men, so yeah, I know they get women on there too. But my whole thing is that this is why fathers have to interdict that. I have a son. He doesn't listen to any of this stuff. He listens to me.
So listen, we have they have 1,000. I'm sorry, they have 1,000 people watching them. There's an entertainment aspect to it because they beat the girls up verbally. But the message that they're giving, Kevin, you just said it's not fit for any man. They shouldn't be saying these things. But do you know that those guys on there really believe what they're saying is absolutely true?
Well,
And they should follow it as close as they absolutely can.
well, this
Okay,
is
so
your point.
then I would say then who's the okay? So even if you listen to them, what man are you looking at and listening to in real life outside of those knuckleheads saying, "Hey, I heard on this show that you got to get 50 women in order to be effective as a man," or some nonsense, and you know, and then I would say absolutely not. What are you talking about, and why? And then I would explain that out and why that's not even important.
But see, you're not
You know what I'm
dealing
saying?
with people like you. You're not dealing. They're not dealing with people like you. All right. A lot of their viewers are literally anywhere from probably 18 to 25. Majority of them, they're young men. Some still in college.
Some are in their
some
50s.
still- there are some, but a good amount of them are the younger men trying to find a reason. I know more kids that are sitting up there watching Fresh and Fit. What's his name? Andrew Tate. I got kids that are sixth graders that I was teaching. They know all about Andrew Tate. He gets locked up. I got sixth graders at my school saying, "Coach, can you believe what happened to Andrew Tate?" I'm like, what the hell you know about Andrew Tate? And they know all about him, what he stands for, what he's been saying. They're sixth grade. That's 13 years old. And so I'm telling you, these guys have a bigger influence. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people, and this is the future. This is the future. That's why I ain't gonna lie. I had to step away from my school, man. I'm just gonna focus on my biggest thing right now is the community, my community. All right. I really think we need to strengthen our community. We need to focus on ours. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all like this.
I gotta say this, guys. I gotta say this, right?
Okay.
I gotta say this.
Who's that?
You can Andrew Tate, the man is not Fresh and Fit. If you ask
So you are Andrew Tate watcher.
I watch all of them, but I'm a man of logic.
There
The
you
reason
go.
why I said
Yeah.
Andrew Tate is not Fresh and Fit is because they espouse two different things. Fresh and Fit is trying to be Andrew Tate. You see what I'm saying? Andrew Tate is ahead of them. But
Are we talking
So
about
is Andrew Tate pushing the nuclear family or not?
no?
Andrew Tate is pushing the nuclear family, but on a different type of nuclear family.
Is it a business? Is it a business or is it covenant?
Okay, now you're talking. It's not business, neither is it covenant. I'm going to tell you why, because I listen to Andrew Tate from a different society perspective. You guys listen to Andrew Tate from American perspective. That's the problem. You see what I'm saying? But I listen to Andrew Tate from a different continent, a different society perspective. So what Andrew Tate is pushing for is not suit for American market. It's not suit for American household, because American household is more of not a polygamy society. You see what I'm saying?
I
So
do,
Andrew
but Andrew Tate is coming from a place of a very rich man, and he's pushing that message of several wives if you could take care of them and all that. I understand what you're saying.
I don't hear wives. I hear women, and I hear girlfriends or concubines. I not concubines. I hear women, girlfriends. I don't hear wives.
I have heard wife. I have heard wife before. I have heard wife before.
Hidden James, right? You are coming from an American educated society. Andrew Tate is coming from a broader society other than where you live. Somebody that grew outside the United States, right, understand different cultures. When I hear Andrew Tate talking, right, I analyze Andrew Tate 10 different ways. You will analyze Andrew Tate one different way, but I will 10 different ways because I've been to so many societies. So I know how marriages are in these societies. You see what I'm saying? So
I do. We see what you're saying, but listen, let me say this now. We're not promoting Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Because wait a minute, hold on. Let me get done. We are in the United States, but see, this is the example of what we're talking about right now. What we got to do as people, content creators that are married, that want and understand that the nuclear family is the only alternative to what we have to do. This where it's the best way to raise our children and all of that. Just like we are talking about Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit. Somebody just put in the comment section that Fresh and Fit doesn't have 1,000 people watching. They have 10,000 people watching.
Yeah, they got
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
we have to share these videos. We have to make this the new message. I would love to have a lot of subscribers, but I would love it more if more people knew that marriage was the answer and marriage is an option. Instead of those people like Andrew Tate will keep you single, because not many of people in our culture are going to achieve what Andrew Tate has and be able to have several women, concubines, polygamy, or whatever you want to call it. Not many men or any of these young boys that Hidden Gem is talking about are going to be able to achieve that. But guess what they'll do? So men are so goal oriented. They'll have their eyes on an Andrew Tate or Fresh and Fit, and they'll absolutely think they can do it. And they'll be holding back, waiting and trying to achieve this, which could be a bad thing or a good thing. But when do they come back and be like, look, I missed a bunch of good women on the way and I could have been this place now and I'm still here looking. So we don't want to promote that. We want to promote that a marriage, the legacy, men and the heads, women follow. We want to promote that message. So how do we get that out? We're here, we're speaking, just like Fresh and Fit has all this entertainment. So my suggestion to this is this: we, Lady Di, Ricky, Hidden Gems, Prototype. Do you have a channel?
Yeah, I do. Prototype Dad podcast.
Kevin C, you don't, do you?
No.
Okay, so all of the content creators that are here, Rona, you do too. We just got to do better work. We got to be more entertaining along with the message of marriage.
And consistent.
We got to do it.
That's a steep hill to climb because
don't change your platform, because like my platform, I talk about business and business only. I don't care if one person is watching or 10 people are watching. Some people are going to watch it tomorrow. Some people are going to watch it 1 year from now, and they're going to pick out something that will change their lives. You see what I'm saying? So the reason why I said this is because don't try to be Fresh and Fit. Don't try to be.
Oh, no. We would never. No. You misunderstanding. You're misunderstanding.
No, I don't understand where you're coming from for real. I was just adding something inside. I was just adding to it, to what you said.
No, see, look, Hidden Gems is a teacher. So he knows exactly how to relate to young people. He knows what they like to hear. He knows, and we're not doing Blueface. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we have to be more relatable, more entertaining in whatever fashion. I don't know. I don't have the answer right now, y'all. I'm not coming to you with, this is how we're going to do it. I'm just telling you, in order for it to happen, this is what has to happen. And then all of us need to be sharing the word of marriage. Ricky has an outstanding channel where he's in the car every day. And Ricky, I hope I'm not wrong with saying every day, but Ricky's in the car every day, and we tune in and we watch Ricky drive down the street and go off, and we love it. But not too many people know that Ricky's in the car every day doing this, and it's like it works really well. Ricky, anyway, Ricky know what I'm talking about, and a lot of you all know what I'm talking about. It's Truck Chronicles, and Ricky does this every day, and we're watching. But if it would be much better if Ricky had 1,000 people driving and riding down the street with him, and Lady Di the same. So all I'm saying is, and I think that's quite entertaining, Ricky. So I'm not telling you to change anything. I'm just saying I think that was kind of creative the way you did that. But we all have to find out something. And two, I got my new set back here. I haven't even introduced it to you all yet. So I am coming with something new and better, but we still have to be promoting marriage, because that's where it is. And there's really no alternative to it. Again, women as women, we have a problem seeing the future. We can't see so far down the street around the corner. I already know that. I know who I am. So when we are out here meeting men, we want them to be perfect today. We want them to have everything. And we just have to continue to teach our ladies that it's not like that. We have to be in the mode of not building a man, but be willing to build with a man to get an actual good man. And Kevin C, I think, hold on a second. Kevin C, I think you asked that question. What is our part? Our part is becoming better women. And me being an elder, sharing with our ladies what it looks like to be a wife and to become a better woman. There's nothing wrong with that, whether I'm married or getting married or not. I could be totally missed and still need to be the best woman I should be. So you don't lose being the best person you can be. You know.
Can you say that again, SB? I didn't hear that.
Let me back her up on that. Yeah, women need to change like now, because even if these men do better, who they going to? They gonna go be with they friends and they homies, you know, doing all that other stuff, and you ain't got nobody at home. So yes, we do need to change. I don't know who needs to change first. Shoot, I think women need to change first, because when these men start learning how to lead, who they leading? Because that's the issue. The men were leading, and what was the women doing? Talking too damn much, things that they didn't need to say, things that was irrelevant. You know, shaming and belittling. And I'm not talking about all. I'm just talking about some. So
let me say this to Sugar Bum. Sugar Bum said this red pill stuff. Sugar Bum, I got a confession for you. Oh, this is my confession. I know nothing about the manosphere nor a red pill. Surprised? I know nothing about that. Nothing at all. I just know how to be a good wife. I know how to live a good life, and I know how to get what I want in life and be successful at it. And that all came to me by way of husband.
So you guys, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying it came by, it had nothing to do with a red pill. So when she says that, and I don't even know if she's talking to me or not, but when she says that, I don't know what the red pill talking point is. I have no idea, because what my husband do has nothing to do with what I have to do for myself. Nothing. Because what if something happens to my husband? I got to be ready for the next one. I'm gonna be a man. I'm gonna be a wife, y'all. You know, I'm gonna be a wife. You know, I might have to adapt to someone else. It may not be easy, but my relationship with God, my creator, it still has to be intact. I still have to be being a wife. I still have to be a good woman for my husband who's here now. So I have a covenant. I made that same covenant my husband did. So I gotta honor it also. So I don't know where the red pill come in with that, but that's my job. You know, and if Mr. Boss is falling off a cliff, I can't go behind him. I gotta stay very sturdy on my 10 toes down, being a wife and doing what I'm supposed to do. So that's how it's supposed to work.
Who are happily married don't need the red pill or the manosphere, none of that stuff. But you know, just so you guys know, the genesis of the manosphere and the red pill was basically a response to what women were doing.
Okay. So that's what you mean.
That was the genesis of it.
Yeah, because she says you can't shame people into doing what you want.
So what happened was
issue with it.
So what happened was men actually developed a counter response to what women were doing.
That's the issue with it.
So yep. Sugar Bum's gonna help me. She said, because how about making it? Listen, go ahead, Kevin. See, because you're saying how about making it seem attractive? Now, Sugar Bum, I need your help, because I come here at least 3 times a week, and I don't know not one thing that I share with you all that doesn't seem attractive. Unless you're saying me myself is just broke down and disgusting.
we know that ain't true.
Pretty lady, got it together. She speaks well. What else do you need? Because if we start talking about stuff that y'all want to hear, which is, oh, it's okay to talk down and belittle people. Yeah, you could do that because he deserves it. He didn't take out that trash. Yeah. Like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to say it's okay to sit here and do things that are not right. What's attractive is the truth. And I don't know,
go one father, Lady Di. I'm not gonna compare myself to him. We have 2 different jobs.
Right.
I'm not gonna compare myself. He's not my equal. I have a role that I play in this thing that doesn't include my husband. There's things I'm supposed to be doing that doesn't include him.
Look.
Go ahead, Ricky.
Look, chat. Let me hold. I gotta do this.
Did you hear what I said?
I gotta do this.
You're so silly.
Gentlemen, listen and listen well. You are not to be moved by anybody if you don't want to. You can't shame me into nothing. You can't convince me to do nothing I don't want to do. I don't care how fine you is or how fat your ass is. I don't care. That's y'all problem. Y'all reactive instead of proactive.
Yeah.
I'm a man. Now, I might not be the man you like or you want, but I'm a man. I said it last night. My wife, this is her house. This is my wife's house. I bought it for her. If it wasn't for her, I'd be in an apartment. I don't care. But I run her. Y'all don't understand y'all position. That's the whole problem. Y'all continue to allow people to dictate what you supposed to be instead of being the man you need to be for you. This is the entire problem. Say you don't know what a man is. Say you never had anybody sit you down and give you the rules of the game. I give them to you. I do it every day. Ask Ronan.
Mm-hmm.
But what y'all don't understand, you grow, right? You grow, but you don't really change. You grow, but you don't really change.
Pull up.
Facts.
Right? A woman's gonna rock with you for you. Everything else is just icing on the cake. I done seen homeless men with women.
Did you hear what I said?
Bums on the street with wife and with a girl and dogs, and both of them out there begging.
Yep.
What is your value as a man? What is it? Right? Because if you valued yourself as a man, a woman moving out of pocket, it don't affect me in the least because you gone.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing I tell y'all about ladies. You know a good lady by the moves and choices she makes. You're not gonna get over you ain't gonna treat, oh, I'm a good woman. Then why you let them treat you that way?
Hey.
Why? Right? Stop pointing the finger. It's you. When I was going through stuff, everything I went through was a result of the choices I made and people being people. You can't control your wife's feelings, dog. She her own person. That's why I tell y'all, your feelings are yours and you're entitled to them. You have to figure out what type of man you are before you affect any change in your life. Until then, you stuck. You on a treadmill. You in quicksand. And you're going to continue to point fingers and make excuses and blame it on somebody else, which is just going to continue and further you're sinking in the quicksand. And what's crazy is the branch is right there. You can see it. You can reach it, but you don't want to stick your arm out because you don't want to take blame for what we all here to do what we all here to do. What's the point of great men when ain't no good women?
Mm. None. So listen to this, y'all. Easy Money Jones, Easy Money, you just the gift that keeps on giving. I gotta tell you, this is a young man, and let me tell you what this young man just said. And I want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly, so you know you can actually comment, ask questions, or what have you. He says, "Why am I marrying someone I'm not equal to? I don't deal with people I'm above, but that standard men shouldn't marry. But let's see, by that standard, men shouldn't marry women." Hey, so listen, let me tell you something, Easy. This is a young man. Easy, we are definitely equal in creation, meaning God created us. But in marriage, we have totally different roles. And I know you know that. I know you know that because you don't expect I'm going to use the man's example. You don't expect your woman to jump out in front of the bullet unless you're saying you wouldn't jump out in front of the bullet either. I'm not sure. But women have their roles as wives and men have their roles as husbands. And we're not equal. You know, we're not equal. Your wife has a responsibility to be nurturing, to be your helpmate from the beginning. Now, if you don't believe that, then I'm talking to the wrong person. Again, though, we are equal in creation. And if that's what you meant, then I'm gonna stop right there. But then you go on to say about something about being above a person. You as a man are the head of the household. And again, if you don't believe in that, then again, I might need to stop this conversation. So I don't know what your belief system is. So I'm gonna stop right there because maybe you believe something different. But again, like I said, you keep giving though. We got some super chats we're gonna read, and then we're gonna just go on. We're gonna do some final thoughts because y'all, it is about to be midnight. And I appreciated everything that you all have done being here with us. This is our version of the cruise season. No, I'm not going to let y'all do it. We're not going past midnight because y'all are not going to do that to me. How often am I jumping in front of bullets? That's extreme. Okay.
Midnight,
okay.
Are you on the East Coast, SB?
I am.
Okay,
But listen, Easy Money took that statement so literal. Okay, you calling it bullets because it comes out of a weapon. I understand, but guess what? There are a lot of firing squads out there that are in this world. It may not be the actual weapon with the ammunition that a person shoots and takes advantage. It could be, oh my God, it could be the bill collector calling, harassing your wife about when the bill gonna get paid. Would you not pick up the phone and make that arrangement? Could you not see that as are you gonna leave that up to your wife? Or could it be your son who's 13 years old and bad as hell? That could be a bullet. Or are you gonna leave that up to your wife? What part are you trying to play in this? I'm telling you, just because I use standing in front of your wife and receiving the ammunition, the bullet, or what have you, it doesn't have to be you too literal with that. I mean, that could happen, hopefully, and pray to God that doesn't. But there are a lot of things that a woman should not be handling when she has a husband there with her, because most women who are in marriage should be willing to take the role of helpmate and let the man have the bigger responsibility in the marriage situation. And I'm there to do whatever it is that you would like for me to do as your helper. But again, if that is not what you believe, I'm not talking to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and do these super chats. Fat Boy for Life, $5. Thank you for that. Lady Di, I love you, James. Okay. Now, wait a minute, Lady Di, your husband named James?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure. There's no inside flirting going on. I'm just kidding. Marcus, again, thank you for your $2 super chat. The art of listening is the key. You're right. It's not easy. Take heed. What you up to? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Love your content. Thank you. Sugar Bum, well, Lady Di shaming now. So, Lady Di, you shaming?
Stand on it.
Yes.
She says yes.
Agree and amplify.
Yes. Cover
she
your
was shaming.
bottom. Cover your bottom and sit down and be quiet. You know what? There's a lot of power in silence. I should tell women that. A silent woman is very powerful. It's very feminine, actually. Just in case y'all didn't know that. Marcus, thank you so much again for your $5 super chat. We need Ricky school right now. Ricky, you gonna open up a school? That's what you do with the Truck Chronicles, though. Actually, you're driving down the street and like, this just came in my mind. Let me share it with y'all.
The truth offends people. Let's just be honest.
Oh well,
It's Ricky's boot camp.
Care about that.
I'm not gonna be liked. I already know what it is. I accepted that fact.
I am a walking offense, and I don't even know it. I have no idea. I should know it though, because people tell me enough to know. I should really get it. Again, Marcus, thank you. Great show tonight. Y'all should do this more. Just suggestion. Good night. Thank you, Marcus. Have a good night. We'll see you soon. Big Ant, tell them SB. Clap, clap, clap. I don't know why they don't want to get married. The nerve of some people. Big Ant. Now, Big Ant, you better stop. Because I already know every time I talk about marriage, you talk about driving faster away from the church. I already like, SB, you go get on my nerve with that. I'm driving faster when you start talking about getting married. Then he go, oh my goodness, Big Ant, you got it. So listen, what is this I'm hearing? I'm gonna have some finals. Oh, Sugar Bum. Oh my goodness, Sugar Bum, more like shady and chameleonish, but whatever. Chameleonish, really? Sugar Bum, are you calling me a chameleon?
Oh,
sit down and wipe your butt.
You talking to me?
Oh, Lady Di, are you a chameleon this week?
Am I? Go ahead, watch my lives. Go see how I speak, and you tell me, because I don't think so. That's not.
Well, maybe she hadn't seen that man that be in those videos with you.
Lady Di, you're supposed to support her edgeless antics.
That could make Sugar Bum. That could make a difference. Sugar Bum, did you see that man that's in that video with her? Them videos? Did you see him? He's smiling. He seemed like he happy. Oh, we know Sugar Bum. You a mess, girl. Anyway, we're gonna have some final thoughts. I appreciate y'all so much. My ears are extra sensitive to men saying women. What? Easy? What you talking about, buddy? He says my ears are extra sensitive to men saying women are lesser than. That is often used as a justification to be cruel to women. I don't know. Let me say this though. Let me say this.
Okay.
I don't think a man would marry a woman that he loves and cares for and take care of and pay bills for her and gives her a baby and do all that, and actually think that she's less.
No, and
I don't
it's the
know.
opposite. You're actually thinking more of that woman.
That's what I
She's
would
actually
think.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that's an investment.
I would think so. So I think we get lost in translation. You say how I
And
put
it-
that in there. Lost in
and it's
translation.
not-
You hear me?
Yeah, and
Well,
it's
so
not
people have
blessed.
to understand. I'm
I
sorry,
don't
go
it-
ahead.
agree. I think the
yeah,
verbiage
it's
is wrong for that. We don't even think about it
exactly.
like that.
Exactly. It's not less, it's positions, right? It's nothing wrong with understanding that there are certain positions and relationships that people have certain responsibilities. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think you less than, but I have a certain responsibility to you to perform above and beyond for certain things. And it's the same for her. Right.
I don't think
I
that in
don't
any way could
understand it.
be. Yeah, I don't think in any Sugar Bum. I think we got that messed up. I don't think in any way it could be less than if we're talking about. Wait a minute, that wasn't Sugar Bum. That was Easy. I'm sorry, Sugar Bum. Easy. I don't think it could be less than. Actually, that would be a man would adore a woman that he marries. Typically, when men marry a woman, actually it makes the decision to do so, they really adore the women that they're asking for their hand in marriage. That's like a big deal to a man. Typically, now some of us just want to be married and had a wedding, but for a man, it's like what they giving their life. They actually know and have thought about what comes with those nuptials. So most of them are really sincere about it, and they adore their women. They're not trying to see them as less.
You
But
just got to focus on the message, not the words.
yeah, I think that wording might be off. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a final thought. Hidden Gems, you go ahead and go first.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, honestly, hey, look, I think what we're doing here, what y'all are doing on your own, is great on YouTube and everything. I think this is half of the issue. You know, this is half of the solution. I think part of it is going to be also getting out there from time to time. It may not necessarily have to be getting in the community, but we all got neighbors. We all know Black people. You know, we all know people that need help, women that are single, men that are single, men that are looking to find something, qualified women that are trying to find something, helping them through message, whether it's through your YouTube or just kind words, guidance and whatnot. I think we just need to continue to relay this message as much as we can. I think we need to, like you said, maybe find a way to make it entertaining, but thing is we got to get the message out, because sometimes as you can see, we're not the most watched. The
No,
message that we're putting out today is not going to match the number of views or the number of people that are going to be watching the other stuff that counteracts this, what we're talking about. So,
right.
you know, we just got to find a way to get the community together on the same message, the same goals, the same views.
You know, there is a point where we do win. And that point is when we're sharing these videos and getting them out to more people, so YouTube can see that this message too wants to be heard. And that's the problem. Because believe it or not, YouTube somewhat suppresses our message also. But it's all business for them. Of course, if all of that arguing and back and forth is getting 1,000 to 10,000 views per time, they're going to push that. Anybody would. And over here, what I got maybe up to 80 tonight and maybe get up to 120 or whatever. So we got to share the videos in order to let YouTube know that, hey, there are people out there that are looking for this. They want this. And then it will carry itself on. And then all of us can actually play a larger part in getting the message out for the nuclear family.
I would also say, get out there. The other thing is there are some people that aren't on YouTube that need the help. If YouTube is the what we have to go through as far as our videos and whatnot, and it's not working for us, we find that it may be working against us in most cases, then hey, we got to do the harder work, put our feet on the ground, talk to a couple of people in your neighborhood. Don't have to be 10, 2 will work. Pass the message and they'll pass it on to the next. Help one and they'll help another, and it'll go forward. But it's gonna have to be both on and off the screen, in my idea. You know what I'm saying? The way I see it, it has to be on and off the screen.
I agree with you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Kristen Smith, yes, we are here weekly, normally Monday and Fridays, but on Wednesday we're on cruise season. But if we're not on cruise season, we're definitely here. And we have Ricky and Ronan and Prototype. We all have different channels that we actually do podcasts, and we speak to you all on about marriage and good things. So yes, we are all here weekly. Kevin C, go ahead and take us out of here. What you got to give to us tonight?
Yeah, so back to the original question on the floor, nuclear families. There's no alternative to that. We're gonna have to, get that done. This plays into I just look at the over, I know some people don't like stats, but I kind of point to that because, that kind of helps me out as far as making my decisions. But that 30% marriage rate is for Black people as a whole. That's Black men and women together. That's terrible. Matter of fact, when I have this conversation with non-Black people, non-Blacks as I call them, as far as they're concerned, they're better. They feel that they're better people because they have a higher marriage rate, because they have this, they have that, whatever. But you know what? It always points back to what I call the Black pathology argument. That Black pathology argument has been a concept since 1965. It came out in the Moynihan Report. And whenever somebody has a criticism of Black people or Black Americans as a whole, they always point to that argument and they go, oh, well, crime, Black people, okay, create more families. Oh, education problems, create more families. Oh, economic problems, oh, create more families, which they're actually right. But my issue is that they don't really have the nuances and the details about how and why that got like that in the first place and what we need to do and what we need to be doing in order to fix it. We need to be solving our own problems. But I'm just telling you, this is a talking point at the highest levels. When I say highest levels, this is not just YouTube. I'm talking about like mainstream media. It's talked about on Fox News. You know how they are. And then CNN, before they fired Don Lemon, he was talking about it. They always bring in Black people to talk about it when they're talking about the Black pathology argument. MSNBC. Right now, there is a Republican candidate. If you guys are following the politics at all, there's a Republican candidate. He's an East Asian Indian dude.
I heard him. I heard the argument.
Every time I hear this dude talk, you know who he is invoking? He's invoking Black people. And there'll be no Black person in the audience. He ain't even Black, but he's up there talking about Black people and he's using the Black pathology argument. So
didn't him and Don get into an argument?
Yeah, he actually did. That's
why he got fired, didn't it?
Yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And my whole point is that people use that as a way to justify what happens to Black people. If it's bad, Black pathology, or to mistreat Black people, Black pathology. So as far as I'm concerned, in order to get away from that, one of the ways to do it is, the nuclear family, stable two-parent homes, kids being raised to be positive, productive citizens and contributing members of society. And you can't do that by yourself. Everything that we've seen over the last 4 decades plus has shown us that it does not work. So that's my argument to people when they say, well, marriage and this and whatever. I'm like, if you're not going to be producing kids, then fine. But if you're going to produce children, you need to be getting married. That needs to happen. All right. And I'll go ahead and stop right there. Thanks for letting me up. That's actually what I came up to talk about, the Black pathology argument. Because you mentioned that dude thinking low value. That's where that comes from. It's not only non-Black people who believe it, but some Black people believe it as well. And when I hear them talking about it, I get on them about it. And then I start going in and we don't have time to get into it now because I'm closing out. But by the time I get done with them, they're like, oh, Kevin, oh, okay, yeah. Now they have to actually conduct critical thinking with me, because I'm going to challenge them on it. But at any rate, thanks for letting me up. I appreciate the conversation, and you're doing great and amazing things. I don't always come up, but I do listen to you in the background.
Thank you.
I know you see my comments.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, you always comment. I love your engagement. But listen, I appreciate your stats and the fact that you said I think 40% of the men are in the Black community. They want to be married. I think that's what you said.
Yeah,
I need them to go ahead and do that.
Yeah,
that's what we need to happen.
They'll do it, but they'll do it, but they got to get wives too. Now they got to.
But that's the part we got to work on
in order for marriage.
That's the part. That's what I was going to say. That's the part we have to work on. Yeah. We got to work on that.
I don't like that either. We should have more Black. If we get 30% more Black men married, we're at 60%. Bam.
There you go.
Right off the rip. And then we're blowing past them. We're blowing past 2 other racial groups, so I can go over there and talk crap to them.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much.
At any rate, thanks for letting me. I appreciate you.
Ronan, you and my buddy up here beside me. No cap. Where's mine? I'm lost.
I was just saying that because listen, where's the shirt?
I mean, I'm lost.
The shirts are available on Spring. Ricky-Williams.creator-spring.com. I'll put the link in the chat and it's in the back chat too. So if you want to go ahead and order a shirt, go ahead and click on the link. I'll put it in there for y'all again.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where they're at. They're reasonable price too. I ain't trying to take nobody to the bank or nothing either. So
I like that, Ricky. Okay, Ronan, go ahead and give us what you got.
Well, there's an alternative to the nuclear family, be an impactful one. And we talking about quality over quantity. There's too many people putting out propaganda and negative things about what their fears are and whatnot. But you start seeing the difference. Use that discernment to become better. Learn how to be those ones that set the tone and move on to the next generation rather than repeat the same mistakes. And it all starts with having a healthy relationship with yourself. You start building those blocks, and then you learn how to work with that other person. As Lady Di said, like, you're talking about communication, understanding, learn how to listen to receive rather than respond.
Right.
Learning each other's love language, learn how to respect each other, learning why that person's there, and remind them on a regular basis. So their context about love being a business, it's your business to be better than you were yesterday.
I like that.
So
thank you, Ronan.
Yeah, that's what I say about it. Oh, and stop supporting these grifters. Like I said, they're internet hobos.
Oh God, we gotta write that one down. Internet hobos. Goodness gracious. All right, Ronan. All right, have a good night, Ronan. We'll see you soon. Prototype, what you got for us? You've been quiet for a while.
I just been letting everybody else, spin it. You know what I mean? Everybody got some good things to say. But not coming from me, man. I kind of don't agree with Ronan on the quality over quantity thing, right? So like, we need more families than ever, and I think quality will come with the quantity. You know what I'm saying? The more of us that get married, eventually a lot of us will be better, better at it because that's what we're doing. The nuclear family is the only way for us to get over these hurdles and stop having these conversations. These conversations are never going to stop until we start making that move of getting nuclear families together. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of my belief around it. That's my godly perspective on it. And I'll just leave y'all with that. So hey, thanks for having me on, and I appreciate y'all.
You know you're welcome to come in anytime. Thank you for being here. Look, if you're married, you got a free ticket. Come on up.
All right, bet.
All right, talk to you soon. Lady Di, it's good to see you, dear. How are you? Sincerely.
Yes, I'm well, trying to figure out life with, I have kids, husband, figuring out a great schedule with this busy life now that YouTube has taken over. YouTube has taken over, but I appreciate you inviting me here. Great discussion. And last thing I just want to say is, we shouldn't be fighting against each other. We're here to love each other. We're here to bring balance. That's the difference or that's the point, I should say, of having a man and a woman, is to have balance. And if you want balance in your life, then you should think about having a spouse. You start off in a great relationship, and then you could just tie the knot. And it's something great when you do it right. You're going to learn from mistakes, but just make sure that don't just say marriage is bad because you see all these divorces, you see all this toxic behavior. That's just them. It's the person. It's not the marriage. So let's separate what marriage is supposed to be and how people are acting. So that's all I wanted to say. But yes, thank you for having me.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. And we're going to tune in soon. And you're welcome to come back anytime.
Okay.
All right. Good night. So Ricky, then there were two.
Yes, ma'am.
Ricky, thank you so much for being here tonight. We missed on Wednesday. We don't do cruises on Wednesdays. I miss not doing something. So we got to put something together.
You in the habit. That's all it is.
I'm in a habit. You had your whole life planned out. Like, my people don't see me tonight. They might miss me. You don't want them to miss you. So
yeah.
Again, I appreciate everything you do. Continue to do what you do. We're going to continue to put this message out. I'm going to continue to try to be more entertaining and share the message of marriage being an option. And I know you're going to do the same. And that looks like we're just going to have to continue to call things out.
Yeah, I'll close this out. I want to salute you and Mr. Boss.
Thank you.
I want to salute y'all. You know what I'm saying? I want to salute you for staying positive, even when days it's like, you know what I mean? On this thing. And I look at y'all as an example,
Thank you.
right? I look at y'all as an example, and this is to everybody that watches down the line when we long gone off this YouTube thing. Is it safe to think, or is it impossible to think that SB, and Mr. Boss are so successful in their lives because they figured it out early? Right, figured it out. Hey, that we here for each other. Let's go ahead and get the stupid stuff out the way. Right, let's put that to the side so we can build this thing. Right, I seen a video, Rich Auntie. You know what I'm saying? Pulling up in the C8. You know, if we want to keep it on the material stuff, but I look at it as that's a byproduct of y'all working together.
It absolutely is.
Right. So maybe the things that everybody chase, right? The convenience, the money, the luxury, become easier, right? If they get with a partner that they got love for and that love them, and y'all figure it out to do it that way. Just a thought.
Ricky, beloved. Ricky, that's where it is. It's gotta be that. I mean, that's what you and your wife have. Come on. I mean, that's the answer. But we gotta convey that message, because there's so much junk other than what you just talked about out there now that precedes even the marriage. How do we even get there? I mean, you got people that don't even want to build. I mean, I ain't never in my life.
see what I'm both sides of. You know how I feel about this. It's OV. I'm telling y'all, it's over. Like, this is me. Like, I'm a realist at heart. What I wish for and what I know what's gonna happen is two totally different things.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. First and foremost, the very way to fix the problem is the solution to the problem is the solution, and the solution is the problem. As crazy as that makes sense.
No, you're saying get married. That'll take care of all the situation. Yeah.
Right.
No, I hear you.
See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So nobody, I'm not gonna say nobody, the majority, right? Because everybody keep talking about the majority and they don't need this and that. They don't find value in people anymore.
Nope.
Right? They're like, your ego is God. Like I said, I tell you all the time, SB, everybody, like, we have all these people that say they know the Bible, that say they love Jesus supposedly and fear God, and see the Bible happening right in front of their eyes and don't recognize it. It's like, oh, well,
that's true.
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Very true.
Right. So and what's crazy is the blueprint was there long before we been here, SB, and it'll be there long after we gone. But people gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. And people aren't motivated by love. They're not motivated by duty. They're motivated by fear and false expectations. Anxiety. Again, we as a people allow other people to define our realities and our relationships. Right? That's why they call it the rat race. That's what they call it, the rat race. So it's to distract. So you're so busy running a rat race, it distracts you from everything that really matters.
Right.
I'm telling you, like, y'all ain't gotta believe me. Y'all gonna wake up one day and you're gonna be like, I was a sucker.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna happen. I'm telling y'all.
So listen, my hopes are this, that the women that want to be wives, I want them to be able to align themselves right now with what God says a wife looks like. And I actually believe if they want that, then their husband will come and they'll have an opportunity to live that life. I don't know how long, of course. And then from that point on, you have to build a foundation with him, and it is what you make it. You pour into your life and nothing supersedes your marriage. Nothing or anyone supersedes your marriage, not even your kids. I actually always say, have a foundation before you bring these kids into this world, and even more so now, because wow, it's a hard time for kids. So I know that's the reason why we get together, and I want women and men to get together in marriage and procreate and have children and do what they're going to do. But still, you got to make sure you're picking the right ones. You got to make sure.
Agreed.
So anyway, Ricky, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to read these super chats and I'm going to get out. And I thank everybody in the comment section for being here with us. Y'all have been outstanding tonight, as always. But Fat Boy for Life, Leave Lady Di alone. Who was messing with Lady Di? We got her back. Don't worry about it. Kevin C, thank you so much for your $60 Honduran dollar super chat. And he says, shout out to you and your family, Lady Di. And again, he says, shout out to you, good sir, at Ricky Williams. Thank you so much. So thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. Listen, if y'all don't see me tomorrow, y'all see me on Friday. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate y'all for being here. Continue to share the message of the nuclear family. It is an option. Listen, just like all these things are out here and it's conditioning you to think that marriage is no longer an option. Somebody's going to take your money. Your wife ain't no good. Your husband ain't no good. Listen, we're going to be reconditioning you to think that there are good people out here and you don't have to be selfish. You can actually get together and create a nuclear family and it'll be okay. All right. Have a good night.
Let's get around.
Peace.
It's the 80s, right? Round, let's keep spinning. Playing these games that we don't want to finish. And I'm sorry if that sounds a bit bitter, but I am to the core. You want the whole damn thing, then you ask him for more. You want that old jive swing, you take up all of the floor. I'm fine with standing at the edge of the door. You be the life of the party. I blend in with the core. You drink it all to Bacardi. Till the bottles no more. Let's take it back for this started. You want the love, I don't got it. Got my soul on the road. You screaming, stay, please don't go. Don't think it's in me to listen to foe. It's so different with distance we roam into zones where nothing get hurt anymore. I just wish I was home when I stepped through front door, but instead I'm alone and completely unsure. And even though you're screaming out with the best of intentions, I don't get it. Why do you always gotta ask me to stay? Why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. Say, why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. See, I've been lost in my thoughts, and my thoughts they too scared to usher off. Sorry, Mom, I just thought you were my world. Now you're not. And I'm just sitting, smoking, sloping in the days, cause my days ain't been the same since I drove your away. I remember the way you wrote letters in blue ink. You and me was in love. Think about what your crew think. I know your moms probably think I'm a bastard. Your pops probably want to beat my death and take a in my casket. But I got sick of fighting, bickering, fussing over nothing, cussing. Instead of watching the death of discussions that we once had, days that we once spent in the backseat of our cars, reading poets at sunset. It's funny how love can fall out the foreground, get pushed into the back of your mind. We used to twist a spliff and laugh and relax. Are you crying? And I'm trying to find the reason, so I ask, does forever ever happen, or is it always fade to black? I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road. I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road.